Testing, testing, testing. I think you can. So this experiment's going horribly wrong so far. But I'm getting work done. That's all that matters. So, yeah, sorry about the ads. Sometimes in my hurry to get a live stream turned on, I don't look at the... I'm not sure I can turn them off now. I never really think about ads on a live video because I didn't, but anyway, I always think that they only work whenever it becomes a video. Sound on now, but turn it up a little bit. Okay. Let me go here and how about that? All right. So I could pull a little closer. It's on a boom here. Excuse me. Okay, so I've got these and that tag. I can turn them off. Well, let's do them as a one, roof framing one. So we'll turn the upper one off and we'll leave these on. And we'll just make that our first. And we need to put this on parallel projection so that we can see it straight down. And then that ought to work out pretty good. We'll update that. Then we'll create another one here. Let's just call this I'm going to call this roof frame. Need to keep these. It's lower. Okay, and then we're going to go to our scenes and create another one. Where are we now? Here we go. Why do I keep taking out that space? Alright, and this one is going to be tags, upper, and then turn off lower. And let's make sure that's on parallel projection. Yes, it is. And so there you go. Now we have update upper and lower. Upper or lower. Now I noticed I needed to do some work. We'll work on both of them before we start setting up the drawing. I'm trying to keep an eye on the SketchUp. I mean the space over here. These rafters right here, if I turn on the beams, I notice these rafters oh, they're not components. Okay, so well, it won't take that long to fix them. What they'll have is just a, oops, I'm not editing, I can tell by the thickness of that line. They will actually be cut off. They'll have a heel cut like that. I'm not editing both sides, am I? Okay. I thought for a minute I might be chopping off the tail of that side since these are connected. Am I? Nope. Okay. Just making sure I'm editing it. This is a minor thing, but where am I? But it's accurate, so if I don't show it this way, because my drawings are meant to be working drawings, or the model is too, not just the drawings, because I give my customers the 3D model, and then they can look at it on SketchUp's online version, free version, which is called SketchUp for the web. I can upload this model to the warehouse, 3D warehouse, and as a matter of fact, there would be a ceiling joist right there. As a matter of fact, I can get out of that group. So a ceiling joist would go right there, and that would become a nailer for his porch ceiling material. Yeah. So, and then this has to go, there has to be one even with this. Like that. Just making sure the sound's still working. So now if we look at the lower, what'll happen is, it might be easier to talk about this in 3 dimensions. Let me put this back on perspective. But I have a what I call a work view, which is, update that. Now I can go back and forth between the plan view and the working view. What'll happen is this gable will be built first, and also have to fix these barge hangers. But so if we turn on the roof sheeting and pull this one back, you can see this gable will be built first, and then the shed roof will be built, the rafters will be built on top of it. And then I just realized that there's a conflict here, which makes sense because that decking will not go down that far. It would go if you draw, am I there? Yeah, now I'm editing. So what it would do is it would go from, let's see, that's going to get a little quirky. And the point of this is just to kind of demonstrate to the owner that this is going to be a little weird, to be honest with you. Because if I turn off this roof framing, that will go all the way to there, and that should have closed, but something is open. Oh yeah, it's not closed at all. So what I should have done was go from here to there. There it closed. You can tell. And now I should just be able to take the push-pull tool and get, I guess not. But I can delete it. Okay, now that's going to be funky, but that's just the way life is sometimes. And, well, we don't have to do it that way. We can bring this point. As a matter of fact, that's what we need to do. On, oops. Trying to grab those two little lines there that make that. Might be easier to undo. Huh. Yeah, it's going to be easier to undo and take this point. Oh, that's what the problem was. Over to there and then get rid of these. But that's not closed, so something is missing. Probably one little minute point over here. Let's see, let's turn off the wall sheeting. Nobody's in the X space. You know, you go through all this trouble to give people on X, Twitter, something to do, and they just, let's see, wall sheeting. Oh, it's not even turned on. Okay, so let me go over this again. Let me take a line and go from here to there. Okay, now I just didn't go all the way to the end. Now this should still not let me use the push-pull tool. That's okay. Now, the only thing is, yeah, if I don't want to get rid of my bottom piece, I gotta do that. Which this gets into minutia, but we're all about the minutia. I think. This point, I should have made this cleaner. I should have made this just come over here and go straight down. I feel like there was something in the way. There was a ceiling joist or something. Now, I can get rid of this. And the bottom of the OSB will stay there, so you can see it has a thickness now. Alright, that was just a little diversion. So if we turn on the framing again, roof framing. There we go. There we go. Now, they'll just run that decking down to the top of that heel cut that we put on there. See? Turn off the sheeting. Oops, I can't. I'm editing it. I can't. Yeah, they'll just run the sheeting down to the top of that heel cut, and that'll be that. Now I got to move this back over. Let's see, did I get there? There we go. It's going to be a nice, clean little roof. Now if we go to lower, that's more accurate. Yeah, we got our ceiling joist there, and this looks like it needs work, so let's go over here And again, this is a little funky. Oh, that rafter tail stays there in our roof sheathing. Sometimes you gotta circle the wagons, boys. Do I have a I had a little line right here. Give me a 90-degree angle there somewhere. That's close enough. And we go over here. And we take this and pull it up. I should have put a guideline there. I thought it was going to be sort of intuitive. So oh wait, that tail goes all the way down, so yeah, it will come up higher. I'm just going to show it like that, and then, you know, I'm not trying to do this like a teeny perfect standard. I'm just trying to demonstrate how the two roofs will frame together, and then the soffit, this soffit goes on over and meets the house, so you kind of need that rafter on the end, that house line rafter, to finish out the soffit, because if I turn on the walls you'll see why. Yeah, see, this one, that one goes against the house, and then the soffit goes up against it like that. And then this needs to be, this will be kind of funky because this one will have to work out, but I'm trying to meet with the owner later on the roof framing, so I need to just get it done first and worry about this soffit later. So if I go back to lower, the framing's actually correct, so they're going to work. Okay, and yeah, the only thing I want to do is fix these. We don't really need this. The extension I use is the Medeek roof extension. I don't know if this is, yeah, and it puts these barge hangers in here, but they're not, you don't need this many of them, especially that close to the ridge, because, or that ledger there, because you know, it's bolted to the house, and your barge rafter is nailed to it. So I'm thinking you only need like let's see, maybe 3, and then yeah, so if we did one right here, but they need to go, they're not very effective unless they go all the way over to here. Because what you do is you notch out the house line rafter, and it cantilevering off of that vertex right there gives this strength. It doesn't do any good just to put blocks between the rafters. So honestly, on this little roof, you could probably get by with one because this subfascia is down here. But we'll just go ahead and show two. Let's get rid of this one, and then we'll bring one down about 2 foot, just probably right about here somewhere. And then over here, you pretty much get by with one in the middle. Because again, you got the ridge here that's supporting the top of the rafter. And this one. Well, we should be able to find the middle. Normally, in real life, you would have more space over here, and I'm not sure how the layout's going to work, so more likely you'll have more space to give that more strength. That. And then these are existing over here, so I don't even need to worry about those. I don't think they're there. And he's not going to tear off that roof. That's an existing roof. So I'll probably have to note that somehow. Roof framing lower. Okay, so now it's getting a little simpler. And roof framing upper. Checking for questions. Let's see. Upper. Oh wait, work. I meant to turn on the upper. That's what it is. There we go. Let's turn off the lower just to keep it out of sight for a second. Again, this roof this roof is already there. We're just cutting in this dormer. So I don't want to confuse the issue here. Oh, that's right. I've got those set up as a component. So the other side will fix itself as I fix this side. Thankfully, sometimes I can come up with efficient ideas. Where's the middle? Oh, come on. Oh, it's because it didn't go all. What is that? Oh, wait a minute. Something is funky. Now this one's going to be strong because it goes all the way over to here. As a matter of fact, I actually wanted to adjust that because what I want it to be is on the same layout with these. So if I come over here 4 feet, yeah, I want to move. Yeah, I want to get rid of this one, I think. and move this one and this one to there. Is that right? I didn't quite get it. And then copy this one and go 24 inches. Why is that not? Okay, I was expecting it to follow along. So that keeps this upper layout on the same layout as the lower roof, which is just a standard. It doesn't matter that much, but I didn't like the way I guess it's kind of funny. Yeah, I guess it'll be alright. They put the longer one on this side, but yeah, we're not going to get too hung up on that. He's going to frame it. He'll end up framing it how he wants to frame it, but let's see. Let me get down here and make sure I'm not coming up out of the plane of the roof. Right, so then these are already, this is just going to confuse the visual aspects of our new roof. So if we go to our upper framing, let's see if that reads. Doesn't really read that well, but it does accentuate the fact that our rafters are on the layout. As you can see, there's the lower layout and that was the upper layout. I think this is going to be, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a three-dimensional view. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a view called perspective, and it will have the upper it'll have both of them turned on, so I need to get it in a view. I'll probably do a couple of them. I'm trying to get it to where this, as a matter of fact, I may just turn this one off. Not sure. We're going to call this view, we're going to call, I want to save this view just for the fun of it, and then we're going to go to a new roof frame perspective 1. We'll do another one. How are we going to do it? I really want to turn this off, but I don't want it to, well, if I separated this out, there one on the end, yep, and this subfascia, that everything. If I cut that out, oh, I missed something. Dang it. What was that? I need to get rocking. There we go. And then go out of this and then make a new one. A new group. And we'll call this tag roof frame existing. Yeah, so I'll put that next to that. So then we can go roof frame existing. Now we just have to decide on our lower if we're going to show the existing or not. If we don't show the existing, we can zoom in on it. It might read better. Or it could turn it on like this. And I could just note that that's existing or kind of block it out. Let's do that. And then roof frame upper, we turn off existing and zoom in on it. Let's see. Update. And then we'll have, let's see, this needs to be moved. Oh, wrong way. That needs to be moved there, and then this needs to be back elevation needs to be moved up, and left needs to be moved up. I need all the elevations to be together. It's easier to work that way. And then, so what I need to do is raise this up a little bit and bring this down like that. Alright, so let's go to our perspective. And I think I'll turn off existing. I don't know. I'm not sure it really matters. Alright, so if we're just going to go with that for now, what we would do is we would bring in our viewport. Viewport, that's an old AutoCAD term. And we bring in country cabin. And we kind of get this box the way we think we're going to get it, close. And then we go to, we need to update the drawing first. Update the model reference. And then we can go into our scenes and we can do, let's see, well, that didn't update. Oh, did I save this? Gonna save this first. Then go into here. Update. I think we want to do our lower There we go. I think we want to do our lower first. And we'll set this up at a hybrid that makes it a little clearer and darker. And we'll get this little box. Uh-oh. Let's see. I gotta set the scale first. Let's see if we can do it at a... oh, we're on a big sheet. We can do 1/4 inch. Forgot we were on a big sheet. But 1/4 inch is pretty standard. Now we have to decide. We've got so much room. I think I'm just going to show the existing and just note it. And that'll give more context. So this is what I'll do. Let's see. Or I may have a couple of these set up where maybe that's the overall. Maybe we have one that's overall. And then we zoom in. Let's see if we do that here. We have perspective. So now we can go in here and say perspective. And this one wouldn't be to scale because you can't do perspectives at scale. See, we just get it as big as you can. Then pull your title over here. Line up over there. So we're just kind of roughly laying out the sheet right now. We're not really, we're just trying to see what'll fit. And then up here, what we could do, yeah, I think it would be cool to have like an overall. Let's see. So if we make we make a scene called roof framing overall, and then we turn on the upper. It gets a little blobby. And I'm not sure how effective that would be. I don't think it's going to read, so that's probably why I didn't do it in the first place. So I think the overall is just going to have to be the perspective, and then we zoom in from there. So I think what we have to do, I think we delete that scene. Yeah, we go from lower, upper, yeah, and then perspective. And maybe we have two perspectives. You know, and maybe we kind of zoom in. Maybe that's maybe we do it like that. There's an art form to it. You're just trying to basically set up views to transfer information, man. Roof frame perspective 2. Okay, and we'll just let that be from a different angle. And then we'll update that. Go back to our sheet and save our drawing. And now we go back to our sheets. And so what you could do on this one is make it, we can make these larger. We can make these like a larger scale and show more information. I wonder what a 1/2 inch would do. That would be nice. Might be too big, but just gonna have to play with it. And you just show the corner of that other one just for some context. And then you do the upper up here. Kind of line them up, and I'll get these perfect. You know, I'm just trying to lay out the whole sheet at first to see what we can fit. And I still have to save room for dimensions and text. So now if we scoot this over, allowing room for notes and dimensions, we scoot this over. You have to remember that this part of the drawing gets bound with the roll, so you kind of need to keep stuff, you know, away. It's easier to read because you got a roll of drawings, and this whole part over here is hard to see. So you want to kind of keep it to the right as much as you can. Then up here, this could be the other perspective. Scenes. Oh, I got to update the model to get my other perspective. There it is. Sometimes you got to reset it to get it to change like that. And what I can do here is just kind of cut off. Let's see. I don't think it's going to hurt to cut off that part of the roof. That'll kind of accentuate the fact that it's existing. As a matter of fact, well, I was going to say I'll chop off part of this one too, just to show that it's irrelevant. And of course the owner knows. The owner's going to know what he's looking at because he built the first part of it. I can bring that to there. Well, I need to line these up. So what I usually do to be anal, I'll bring a line down like this, and I'll make, and I haven't got the, I'll probably redo this because I'm just trying to show you kind of how I do it to begin with. And this would move over. I can actually go in there and take that point and make it work. And then take this. These may not be the final points. I'm just kind of showing you how I do it, how I line it up. Now take the end of this title mark and and make it even with the other side. Like that. So you're trying to create sort of a grid on the sheet like that. Nobody came into my space on Twitter, man. Y'all are a bunch of, all you want to talk about is UFOs, man. Come on, man. Don't you want to talk about something else? For once in your life? We need a Stevie Wonder song. For once in my life. Aha. There's Shane. Shane's not chicken. Oh, I'm gonna make you a speaker. You can't make yourself a speaker. Well, Shane might be able to make himself a speaker. I don't know. Shane, I invited you if you want to speak. Is it working? Alright, well, I invited you. I don't know if it's working or not. I'm working here. I've live streamed a bunch on YouTube. I thought it would be fun to do it with a space and have people watch the video on the other side and then talk. Use the space for commenting. Oh, I gotta change this to roof framing plan. Okay, so that's the basic layout. Ooh, that's big, isn't it? We need to make that text smaller. Shane, do you not want to be a speaker? Let's make this, let's make it 40. Oops. Can I not make it my own size? There we go. So that's the, and what I'll do is I'll come back and put dimensions, and of course I can't put rafter dimensions on a two-dimensional plan, but I just left my speaker on. I don't even know if that's working. I wonder if it works if I have to mute myself to get Shane to be invited to speak. I don't think so. Okay. I don't know. The space might be glitched out. So anyway, let's go back to the model for a second and ask ourselves what we're trying to accomplish. We are trying to accomplish showing the owner how to frame these little roofs. This gable, this little shed roof, which if you go back to the sheets, you can see here on the elevations, we got to reconnect. When these texts are red like that, you have to reconnect them to the model. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to show, these are just pretty pictures. They're cool looking, but they don't show you how to build it. So what we're trying to do is show how to frame, and honestly, these perspectives will do more than anything, any kind of plan view. The plan view will show you kind of the layout. This is on 16-inch centers, where to put the barge hangers and all that. But the perspectives are the ones. And also, I just realized, we have the roof pitches on the elevations. Yeah. So that'll show that that's a 212 and that this is a 812. Yeah. There. So I don't know. Is Shane over on the, is he on the YouTube side? So So now if I'm happy with that, if I'm happy with what I think is working. Now the other thing is, roof framing plans typically come after. Well, let's see what comes first. You got your floor plan, elevations, framing plans, and then building sections. So I actually have this out of order. So if we had this, except that I've got this floor framing plan on here because this sheet is just, the sheets are big and I was able to fit it on there. So what I may do is, let's see, go to roof framing. I may move this to I may make this A2, make this A3, and then we can move it down, change it here. There's a way to set this up so that these titles actually go in here in this block, but I don't like it that way. I like being able to manually put floor plans so I can keep up with it over here. This is just a list, and these are the actual labels. So your cover sheet's normally 0, then your floor plans, in this case elevations, are on A2. A3s are roof framing, and then I'm not sure if I don't have a building section per se, and I don't have a site plan. I do have a foundation plan, and that would actually go up front. That would actually be up here. So got to relabel on them again. A1, A2, A3. This is all the grunt work in the drawing process. The sheet, setting up the sheets, and that's right, A1. This is the non-sexy side of architecture. Well, the finished product's sexy, but the drafting side of it's not sexy. So I probably won't have a building section or a site plan. So I can probably just delete this, and I'm going to leave the site plan down here because I'm not sure if we're actually going to have it or not. So Shane, did you want to speak? I'm not sure why it's not letting me let you. There, I sent you a co-host invite. Did you get that? There you go. Shane's like, I'll take a co-host invite. I'm just leaving my mic open because I'm working, so you can speak whenever you want to. You're the co-host.
Hey, I DM'd you. I'm super sick, so I'm just chilling, supporting you, man.
Oh, thank you, Shane. I'm sorry you're sick.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna get through it. I just wanted to just show you support.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is kind of weird. I've never done this before. You know, I live stream SketchUp on YouTube a lot, probably for 10 years now. And I've never tried taking comments from people in a space on X. I wanted to try it out. Of course, I probably tried it at a bad time for the day.
Don't worry about it. There's like 2 other spaces with my name in it right now, and I don't like getting baited into spaces. And I saw you were doing it, and I was like, I'm just gonna hang out with Tony. But I can't talk too much. I'm gonna puke.
Okay, sorry. I hope you feel better.
No, it's okay, dude. I'm here showing support, though, man. I'm gonna lay back down, but I got you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we're going to decide. I know, what's funny is he told me that he put these rafters on this part over here on 2-foot centers, and I gotta talk to him about that. Normally, what I would do is put some dimensions on this. I would put this here, and then I would. So that's a house line. That's the overhang. So what you would do is this, and that would actually, it's supposed to be. He said it was 18 inches or something. And then what you would do is, and I don't know where this 2-foot layout came from. So, but this is kind of the part of the process of, when you start dimensioning and labeling, you're kind of put on the spot, about details. There we go. I was trying to get it to line up with that. And I was going to say, that's right. That's supposed to be 15 feet. Okay. Now, what you can't do is you can't show rafter links in a horizontal dimension. I could do it over here. I don't know if it would work or not. Let's see. (5'3". That's funny. I wonder if that's right. I guess it is. It sounds about right. Yeah, 5'3". Okay, so it's not kosher in architecture to dimension perspectives because they're typically not to scale, and it's not to scale. I haven't set it to a scale. It's just literally measuring the length of that rafter. So, and that's kind of not kosher to do. What you would do is give the contractor the pitch of the roof. You tell him how wide it is and give him the pitch, and then you show him that this is supposed to line up with that, and all the intent is met. That's what you're supposed to do. Because if you start giving lengths of rafters and he makes it 5'3", and for some reason it doesn't line up, then it's your fault. So, what you want to do is give them the basic stuff like how wide, what the run and the span are of the rafter, how wide the, in other words, in this, these rafters come after you've already done the foundation and the floor framing, the plan. So by nature of making these porch posts 6 feet apart, see the way this is dimensioned, that will show him that that's the span of the little roof, and then the run is half the span, right, in rafters. So that is working. That'll work. And then just trying to figure out what else I want to put on here besides I just need to put some notes, like here we would say existing roof structure. We would make it right justified. Existing roof structure. And then we would put new actually even this part of the gable is new. It's these dormers that are new. Dormer. And again, if this was like if this work was being bid, I would have to be more concerned about, you know, roof dormers. About getting that looks. Hello, hello. You want to be a speaker? Let me invite you to speak. I was having trouble inviting Shane. Let's see if your invite works. Dougie. And I don't know if you can raise your hand if you got the invite to speak. Or if you just want to listen. But there we go.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working now. I'm live streaming on YouTube, so if you want to go to my YouTube channel, you can watch the video part of it at the same time.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
I'm just trying to, a little experiment here. I haven't used spaces before as a comment section. So I thought it would be interesting to see how it works.
Yep, I'll jump over YouTube.
I should say new roof dormer. I think that's why I was going to originally do it in 2 lines. See how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. This is existing. Oh, he left? Wait, you're supposed to stay here in the space. Oh, wait. Can they do that? How does that work? How's that going to work if he, can't you be, I might not have thought this through very well. How is it doing that? Okay. Oh, it's justified wrong. So, uh-oh. There's Kimball. I sent you an invite to speak, Kimball, if you want to. I might not have thought this through properly. There was a fella here in the space, and I thought you could look at the live video on YouTube at the first, on one part of your phone, and have go back to the space when you wanted to make a comment or ask questions. So, this is new shed roof. Okay, this is new. And if this was for a bid job, you know, you'd want to label all this, you know, new gable roof. You'd want to label each one of them independently, right? Because this is new. I mean, this is existing gable. Because when you have all this existing and new stuff mixed in together, it's hard to differentiate it, and that needs to be left justified. Are you able to request speaker, Kimball, or are you just listening? I was having trouble earlier, so I don't know if you can raise your hand or smile or cry if you want to be, if you're having trouble requesting to speak. But I'm on YouTube, live streaming. I've been doing this for a long time, and I thought it might be cool to see if I can get people to comment or ask questions on the space. I'm assuming that on your phone and on your computer you could be on both at the same time. So, alright, so I have all those marked, kind of labeled out, and now I can do the same thing over here. Might seem a little redundant, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. There's a faux pas in architecture where you're really not supposed to label something twice on the same sheet, because if you need to edit that later on and you don't edit one, it's sort of a logistical thing. So it's kind of a faux pas, but I don't really mind. Since I'm the draftsman and the contractor, sometimes I usually will take the chance. Is this left justified? I don't think so. But if anybody's on the YouTube side and they want to make a live question or answer, get an answer, you can go to my Twitter right now. I'm in a space there, and I can answer questions, or you can make comments. So that's an existing, and for those who haven't seen, if I go to my sheet that has the let's see, SketchUp model, where's my pages? Here we go, elevations. So if you go here, we've got our little gable over the entry, a little shed roof over this part of the porch, and this is, most of this is new. Let's see, if I go back here and I turn on the pictures I have, are they still there or did I delete them? Yeah, these are all the pictures he gave me. This is kind of how it stands now. There's no dormers up there, there's no roof out here on this, obviously. So he wants to build a little gable over this and a porch all the way across this side here and around the front. He's going to replace this porch. So then if you go to the framing plan right here, you'll see that the existing part of the house is here, and then these are the new joists coming around. These are the stringers. Okay. And then if you go to the sheets where we print the drawings on layout, which is a separate software, you can go to the floor plan. You can see where I've dimensioned it, and here we just show it with all the the finishes. You won't show the joist here, you just show the plan. And then up here, this will be the framing plan. I haven't noted it or dimensioned it yet. I'll do that in just a minute. And what I'm working on now is this roof framing sheet. And I think what I'm going to do, after just coming back to this, I'm going to move all this down a little bit to get equal space. Give a little more space up here. Okay, but what I was doing was trying to, it's hard to differentiate between, let's see, we have another Twitter. Do you want to be a speaker? Invite to speak. Kimball, I've invited you too. Y'all make noise or do something if you're not getting an invite, or if you want to speak.
You should be getting the invite, Tony.
Hey Shane, what's that, Shane?
You should be getting the invite. It's just that,
They don't want to, they're not cooperating.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just kidding. Now, if you want to, Ted, I'm on YouTube live streaming this SketchUp, which I do a lot of. I just thought it would be fun.
What are you guys talking about? I'd rather listen to you guys than that fucking idiot Grider. Shane, if you're a friend with Grider, fuck you.
Okay, I'm doing a live stream.
Yeah, he's never like it's super odds right now, so definitely not.
I'm doing a live stream on YouTube, so please don't cuss.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just letting you know. Let's see, what is this? Oh, there's a good demonstration where if I just select that object and I don't put text in, it will put in the whatever metadata is related to that piece, and that's sort of the metadata attached to it. So what I'm going to do is go in and call it well, that's new shed roof. So I'm doing a live stream. I do a lot of these live streams on YouTube.
I put it to the desk, Tony.
Thank you, Shane. Shane's a pro at spaces, so he knows what to do. And so
I would say it's pretty cool watching you do all this. It's pretty sweet.
yeah, it's interesting. I've been doing it for 40 years, and you think I'd be better at it, but software changes so much that you have to. It's almost like you have to retrain yourself every other month, But I used AutoCAD for like 15 years, and then about 2004, I started using SketchUp, and I really like it because it allows me to do modeling at, like, if I go to the front elevation. So this is the model I built of this tiny house, and then I added these roofs. He wanted these little roofs, and then he wanted these new dormers, so I can draw it, but it's hard to differentiate. And I realized I got to draw this little gable wall right here to close that in. I just realized that by talking about it. But so then from that, what we try to do is we go to our sheets that we're going to print and set up. We got a cover sheet that will have building data and the data about the building and the applicable building codes here. We'll have our drawing symbols and our drawing list, and just some general notes over here that say I'm not responsible for anything. And I'm just kidding, but then I haven't done the foundation plan yet, but it goes here, and here's the floor plan, the existing plan, and that bath, the word bath is touching the. I still have a little work to do on this. I need to put the bathtub in there, but I've got it all dimensioned, and I use this extension called a Medeek extension. It's pretty cool for SketchUp, and it allows you to do things like just draw these porches and stuff, and it'll automatically put the flooring and stuff on it for you. So that's pretty cool. Because I used to spend hours and hours drawing flooring and siding, all manually, and it got to be pretty tedious. But what I'm trying to do now is get these sheets to where I got to meet with him tomorrow. So I'm trying to get enough of this done so he can tell me what else he needs to frame these roofs with. So this is kind of funky here, where if I turn off the roof cladding, I got all this stuff turned off, so it might be easier to go back to this view and turn on the roof sheeting, the roof decking. You can see this roof, the little gable, it takes priority. So if we slide that back about 6 feet, you would frame this gable first because it needs to be vaulted in over the porch. And then you come back and you deck this, and you come back and you put these rafters on top of it. You'll I thought I lost my mouse there for a second. You'll pop yourself a line on here, and that's how you kind of know where the rafters go, and you'll measure on your layout down to those lines, and then cut this compound angle on it, and not too difficult, but you can see it gets kind of funky there. So if I move that back over 6 feet, and then he's already got these, like this roof is existing, and this one's existing, so he's going to cut out these roofs and put these shed dormers on there. And if we go back to the front elevation, where is it? Mine's getting bad already. You can see there's going to be little windows that go up there, because he's trying to get more light into there's a loft in there on the second floor level, but it doesn't go all the way out. So is Grider quarking me? We used to call it back in the day. I used to have a little show called Monday Night Live on YouTube, and it was the gun community on YouTube, and there was this guy named Quark, Q-U-A-R-K. This was before quarks were even known about. I don't know what his name came from, but he would start a show over yours, or he'd start a hangout. We called them hangouts back 10 or 12 years ago. We called them hangouts, YouTube hangouts. And he would start a hangout right anytime you started one, he would start one. So we called it quarking. And so it became known as, is he quarking you? And so, are you trying to tell me that Grider is quarking me instead of coming into my life, my space? Let's see. Okay, so let's see what kind of dimensions. I'm not sure. We could put it doesn't do a whole lot of good to put dimensions on a two-dimensional shed roof, but we can do, if we go, that should be 8 feet. And then this should be 2 feet, but it's probably going to be more. Yeah. I'm just going to label that for now. I'm just going to label it 2 feet. I'm going to cheat that a little bit. And then, because really, what the owner's going to be, he's building this himself, so when he pulls this model up in 3D Warehouse, he's going to be more interested in how long the rafters are. But we don't traditionally show, like that's 2 foot 1. We don't traditionally show that because it all is based on these, whatever he puts these porch beams, whatever distance this ends up being away from the structure of the house, that'll determine how long those rafters are. So I don't want him cutting the rafter lengths off of this and being upset because they're not perfect, because he might not have put the beams up in exactly the right place. So I guess I'm going to put a note over here that says existing. I was going to say it's supposed to be left justified text. Yeah. What's Grider talking about over there? Oh, he left. Was that Eric? That wasn't Ted. That was Eric, wasn't it? Let's see if there's any comments here. I got my headphones on if you want me to join in. Yeah, are you, let's see. How would you join in? I'm live streaming. Let's see. I'm on OBS. Huh. Okay, so let's see. We can So I'm going to meet with him tomorrow. I may call this sheet good for now and see what kind of information he needs after that. He'll probably want me to put dimensions on some things, but honestly, I used to build a bunch of houses. I still do, but back in the day, we would just have a floor plan to build from. So, because that tells you where your beams are going, you know, how wide this, you know, what the span is. Let's see, does it tell me? Yeah, over here, 8 feet. Maybe it might be helpful to have a dimension right here. This is supposed to be 8 feet. Yeah, we put it on this line right here. So that tells him how, you know, what the length of that span is for that rafter. This 6 feet tells him the span of this, which, and then the run would be 3 feet for the rafter. And so I think what I might do is go in here and put some dimensions on this floor framing plan, because I know this is going to be 10 feet. That's 10 feet. And we don't dimension the stringers would be how many ever stringers you have times 10 inches is the run, but it's not the actual length of it's the run of the stringer, not the length of the stringer. So that would be kind of confusing to dimension that. So the main thing here I want to do is dimension the lengths of these porches. Let's see, yeah, it should be 20 feet. So we'll just come out to there. Oops, you know what I should do is dimension this. I might have to change. I might have to work on that. So and I'm not sure I want to dimension. I think I just want to go just kind of leave that. That's a pad for the steps to sit on. I gotta ask him how big he wants that. It's probably going to be bigger. And we will dimension this to the center, this little girder here, which makes sense, 8 feet. Okay. And we shall dimension this porch steps. I need to double check this with the floor plan. What is that? 19.1 1/4. Well, there you go. This is why we do this. 19.8 1/4. Oh, it does say 19.8 1/4. Duh, can't see. Got snow blindness. I'm going to leave that dimension there. Oh, wrong button. Okay, now we're going to go back up here. Feet. That's 26 4 3/8, and we're dealing with the existing building. So yeah, if I was designing this from scratch, I would make that some kind of logical. I would make it 26 4 or whatever, you know. I wouldn't. But he gave me the exact length of this building, which was something 5/8. Yeah, it was 36 feet 5/8. It's kind of funny. I'm not going to dimension the windows again because I've already done that down here. I'm just trying to show here the porch framing dimensions. I'm going to line that up with this down here. I've never heard a space so quiet in my life. Oh, who's this? Camkey. If you want to speak, I sent you an invite to speak. Oh, Conky. I'm in a live stream on YouTube, so I'm trying an experiment where I go into a space and hopefully people ask questions or give comments, tell me how to build stuff. Typical YouTube, typical internet stuff. I forgot to put a, I'm just kidding. I'm being sarcastic, facetious. Yeah, 52 feet, 5/8 of an inch. What does it say down here? Yeah, 52 feet, 5/8. So this is where you run into, I mean, it's nice to be able to double check yourself, but we try not to reproduce dimensions too much. See if we got, what have we got going on over here on the live YouTube side. So there we go. Now normally what we would do too is we would put a line. We would come down here, and I'm going to guess right about here somewhere we would stop. And that would have an arrow on the end of it. The arrow of time. And we would have a text here saying 2-inch by 10-inch pressure treated joists at use the at symbol at 16 inches on center O/C, and then we would take, well, I'm just going to take this arrow, copy it, and flip it around. And I'm just going to make sure it lines up with that one first. And I'm going to move it down. And I know it's not in the middle now because it's shorter, so I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Move this over a little bit. And then I'm going to look where my text lines up. I don't want like an eye lining up on the joist, or I want it to remain legible, so I'll find a sweet spot here. That's pretty sweet, except I need to come down a little bit. I'll bring that back over there. And that's typically how we show you know, from end to end, 2x10s pressure treated joist on 16-inch centers. And that would be the same for all of these, so I don't need to really do it again, because you wouldn't put different joists there than here. When you could, I could relabel it, but it's just kind of a large label. So, and then here, let's see. I think what I'm going to do is leave that kind of the way it is, and then let's see. The only thing I need to do, I just realized, is we have this band going around the outside like this to head her off, or to as a trim board to cover up the end grain of these deck boards. See? But what that requires is an extra joist on the end. This one right here. And it should be like 4 inches to the center of it. Yeah, 3 3/4. Let's see, it should be 4, because if the board hangs over, let me just go back and measure it. Well, it is 3 3/4. Should be 4, I thought. So this is going to hang over 3/4 plus an inch. I think that's what it is. And then the board is 5 1/2. Well, that's correct, Bob. 3 3/4 is correct, so I'm not going to change it. Alright, so we're going to go back here. Back out a little bit because I need to let me run that up a little bit. I need to put a note underneath it. Let's see, what are we going to call this? Bearing joist. I have to fix it on a floor band, floor trim band. I have to. That's kind of long and boring. I think I'm going to make it smaller. Oh yeah, I can make that smaller and then maybe right justify it and then put me a little thing on here. Yeah. And I think I can fix this so it looks better. So I can say, I can bring, oops. Big joist for floor trim, oops. Yeah, half of architecture is just making your text look good. Legible, I should say. I'm going to say typical, because what that says is anywhere you see a joist like that, anytime you see, like when I see this one and that one and this one and that one, that means that, because if we didn't have this joist here, that when the boards came over here that had to stop short, they wouldn't have anything to bear on. And so the owner already knows this. I'm just trying to kind of demonstrate how we would typically label things. So that's pretty good for now. And then I'm going to do the foundation plan, and I got the elevations done. They're nice and pretty. I got a roof framing plan. I might go back and see. Let me move all this stuff out of the way temporarily. Y'all are awful quiet on Twitter. I've never heard such a quiet space before. Never seen it such a thing. It's awful eerie. It's scary, actually.
I need to tell you, I'm not doing too good.
I know. I'm just playing, Shane. I appreciate you being there. You might need a bigger hammer, Richard. What's that mean? Let's go to the model now and see what kind of. Do I have a foundation plan? Yeah, I gotta turn a bunch of crap off. I gotta turn the pictures off. UFO mean face. Okay. Requesting one. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, good. Hello, UFO mean face.
Hey, Tony, I got a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Because you're like good with all that stuff. Have you used modular characters in Unreal Engine?
I haven't. I've used SketchUp for like 20 years, but I've never done any Unreal Engine stuff. I've done
Okay.
I've done some modeling in for 3D. You know, I used to do a lot of 3D printing back in the day, and so I know how to create models in STL files for 3D printing, but I don't know how to manipulate. And I've done a little animation work in SketchUp, but I'm not a professional at it.
Got it. Okay, I guess I'll keep looking. No, I bought a modular pack, and I'm trying to figure out how to swap the skeletal meshes or just basically use the character I bought for Unreal. It's a little different from Blender and all that stuff.
What's the model file format?
It's it's not FBX or anything like that because it imports directly into Unreal Engine as an Unreal asset. So in Unreal Engine, I get like a bunch of meshes that are discombobulated as well as a blueprint of an overall character. There's a method, I just don't know it yet. I was just wondering if you had any experience with it.
I've always wanted to experiment with it, but because
have you seen stuff?
I know to
Have you
do.
seen the stuff I've been doing with it?
What's that?
Have you seen the stuff I've been doing with it?
No, I'll check it on your YouTube channel.
Hold on, I'll put it to Ness. It's pretty powerful, and like I'm an extreme novice. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing people put full-fledged like short films together, and I'm trying to get to that point. But right now, I can just make like really cool UFO lights in the sky stuff. But that's about the extent of what I can do.
Huh? That sounds interesting.
I'll put it in Ness.
Let's see here. Let's turn on the. I need to temporarily turn on the. Oops! I need to turn off the pictures. And then if I update that, and then we shall put this back on perspective because I don't like working in that parallel projection mode. And then I need to be able to see the porch floor. Why is the porch floor turned on, but it's not turned on? Oh, because the floor is not turned on. I think what I need to do is turn this off and turn this on. Oh, okay, I need to turn the post on. So, okay, that's what I was doing. I was making some footings. I need some footings for the new porch, and I was trying to decide exactly how to do them. I think what I'm going to do is just make these like 8 inches thick. It's a little thick, but you can never underdo footings or overdo. What did I say? I made a mistake, didn't I? Make a group. Now, what I should do is make one of these. Actually, should make this a component. That means if I have to make them bigger, I can, and they will all change at the same time. And I know the spacing is not equal. Well, yeah, it's not consistently equal. So that's why I'm doing it one at a time. Normally I would just copy them, and if I had remembered the spacing, I could just do like, do that and then say times, 4 or whatever. Ooh, it worked. I didn't think the spacing was going to work. And you can see it didn't exactly, so that's why sometimes you're better off doing it one at a time. Now this means this one's going to be a minute amount off. Yeah, and this was, again, some of this is existing, and that's why I'm dealing with, part of this existing structure and the dimensions I have to deal with. So, it's a little more of a pain to have to deal with the existing stuff. The idea was for was to get some, for people to watch the live stream and then make comments in the space on X, but I'm starting to see logistically that doesn't work as well as you think it might. I need a footing for right here because this is a new set of steps. I'm hoping these are in the right. Oh shoot. That's kind of a faux pas. When you're working in CAD and you've got groups or components, well, since it's a component, I can change this one and they'll all change. You want to keep all your geometry in your, it used to be layer 0, and AutoCAD is layer 0, so you kept your geometry in layer 0, and then you made your group, you put your group in foundation, where is it? Did I have on piers? Should be footings. I'll put them on piers for right now. But since I did make that a component, I can go to this one now and you'll see that, you see, it's editing that one. So, but just fundamentally, you keep your geometry in the base layer and then you create groups, and then they can nest groups. You can put groups that are on different layers in groups, but the geometry itself should stay on the base layer. Now when I go back to my foundation plan, I can see all those that I've got in there and I can dimension them now. So I can update this, I can save it, and I go back to my drawing sheet and I can bring that in, insert, and I go here to scenes, and let's see, I have to update that. Update model reference. Yeah, now, oops, I saw the piers come in there, and I don't know why the foundation would be turned on in that view, but we'll check it. Scenes, foundation plan. There we go. And we're going to make this a 1/4 inch scale, because that's typical, and it's kind of small, so it's not going to take up a lot of room on the sheet. I was going to do this job on 11 by 17, but it's too big for 11 by 17, and it's kind of too small for 24 by 36, but we'll just have to deal with it. Now these, really what I should have done was not color in this. Is kind of opposite. In architecture, you would typically hatch or poche new work, and old work would be with no texture on it. So it's kind of reversed right now, and I'm not sure why it's showing up that way. Update model. If I wanted to do this properly, I'd go back to the model. Why is that not showing up as... It actually has it on there, it's just not showing up on in the drawing. What I should be doing, I wonder if these are these... Now see, I made the mistake there of not making these components. So see, if I edit this one. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just have to reverse it in this. I'll have to go back here and I'll have to call these existing. And of course the owner knows this, because, let's see, let's go back here, go to foundation plan, make sure this is on parallel projection. It is. So we'll just reverse that in this scenario. are, and we're only going to dimension the new stuff too. We're not going to dimension the existing piers. So I'll come from the house line to here. I'm not sure why I made those 1/2 inch. Normally I would have made them. Okay, well that's why we do this, because I'm going to go back and make those either 16 or 18. They're just holding up a deck, so I'm not sure why I made them so big. Let's go to perspective mode and we'll go in here. Now I got to remember I need to do this from the center. Oh, I know what I did. I offset them from the post a certain amount. Yeah, but I wasn't thinking the posts are, 5.5 inches. So, yeah, what I need to do is now I did this the smart way. I made these components, so you'll see that as I edit this one, you'll see those. You can see them fixing themselves. So let's decide. I think 16 inches is big enough. So 8. And I could just bring these in, but I like to have a guideline to go by. So now I can just take my push-pull tool, come in. You see that one? See them? And if I got to come in from the center, because if I don't, all the layouts will be different. In other words, I need to leave that post where it is and change the size of the overall size. Now, if I go to the foundation plan, they should all be fixed, and we'll update this. We'll save our drawing, and you'll see that the dimensions are parametric. So if I go back here and I update this, they should fix themselves. Just have to reconnect to the drawing. Where'd it go? That one died. Oh, it wasn't that one, it was this one. Okay, that was weird. I'm also going to put these, fix these so they're sitting over there. Mark, and now I'm going to line these back up. Oh, I hate when it does that automatically. Alright, so there we go. That's much neater. And what we'll do is we'll put ourselves a house line dimension, which is 10 feet. Let's see, how can we do this? I might cheat and put it right here under, that's 10 feet one. And then I'm going to have to fix all these at once, I guess. So I can select all these and then hit that little button and it'll fix them. I think what I'm going to do is put a house line dimension coming this way. So yeah, the 10 feet and the 20 feet kind of are irrelevant because that's where the outside of the post will go, and the footings are sticking out obviously past that. So we got this long run here. I might come out with just a little bit more. Seems crowded for some reason. Oops. Now you would think in 2024 we could just select a bunch of items and SketchUp would automatically dimension it, but since it's 3D modeling, you're asking it to make a bunch of assumptions on what it's actually dimensioning. So, you know, it might end up actually trying to dimension the post too or whatever. So normally I wouldn't show the post, but I think it's okay in this case. And as a matter of fact, I may put some center marks on them if he wants them. And I'm going to fix these too. There we go. And I'm also going to put a dimension from there to there. So that's an existing, but it's relative, so yeah, you see we have this kind of odd thing going on here, but that actually should be, yeah, I was going to say, I was getting worried there for a second. I was like, why is that not 8 feet? And I'm not going to dimension that one. I'm just going to do a dimension from there, from here, from the house line to there, and then dimension the footing. Because again, we're not trying to dimension existing. We're just trying to reference, you know, use it as a reference. That one's odd looking. Let's see. Let's undo this for a second. Yeah, I might leave that one alone. And then so that's pretty good for now. And we'll straighten up this, and then we need to relabel this. Yeah, no, that's good. And I'll find some other things to put on this sheet. You might need a bigger, oh, the link to join under the video won't work. Huh, I didn't know I put a link under the video. Oh, that might be oh shoot. It might be an old link to the previous live stream. Okay, well, I think that might be all I do today on this particular project. I have, let's see, this is a foundation. Yeah, I have some stuff I have to do on another project for tomorrow, and so what I have done today is I worked on foundation plan, the floor framing plan, worked on the elevations a little bit. The roof framing plan was the most of what I've done, and so I want to thank Shane for being in the audience on the SketchUp on the X Space side, and it didn't go exactly the way I planned, but maybe next time I'll get the word out a little better, and because I'd like for people to watch and then have comments, not typical space, fights, but just questions about construction or architecture or drawing work or SketchUp or whatever. So thank you, Shane. I appreciate it. See ya. Okay, there goes the space on X, and thanks to Richard for being there on the YouTube side, and I appreciate all of you, and we'll see you the next time.